Here's the story from Timcast.com. I'm just going to let you guys know I'm not reading a single quote from this man, Ye. Ye calls Hitler a cool leader and makes other anti-Semitic comments during Infowars appearance. You can't say that out loud. That's what Ye was saying. He was doing Mussolini made the trains run on time thing? That whole bit?
Yeah, that whole argument.
It's just, let me just play. I'm going to play clips. I gotta play this clip because it's just crazy. So is the audio good?
I like Hitler.
I don't like Hitler. And I know you're trying to be shocking with that.
I'm not trying to be shocking. I like Hitler. I do not. The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts of that. And Hitler has a lot of redeeming qualities.
Oh my God.
I understand he's trying to do the Christian forgiveness arc of like everybody has humanity in them, and it's coming out wrong. It's coming out blunt, and people aren't going to understand. I don't think people are understanding it.
I don't think that's what he's doing, Ian, at all. I think that's like let me play another clip for you.
You know, it's like he had a really cool outfit and stuff, and he was a really good architect. And
so you're in love with the look of it.
And he didn't kill 6 million Jews. That's just like factually incorrect.
Guys, get the Ronald Reagan clip they showed me yesterday. Sorry, go ahead. Ronald Reagan said that too. Well, I think Hitler did target and kill some people. So
I think Obama killed Palestinians.
Alex, that was, I don't know, man. Come on, Alex. Why is he just sitting?
Oh, you're talking about Alex Jones. I thought you were talking about
No. Sorry. Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex.
No,
Alex Jones being like, I think he did target and kill some people. Like, I don't know. Like, this may be a bit personal, but I think Luke had family members who were personally targeted by that.
Yeah. My family died.
That's crazy.
We're not Jewish. We weren't Jewish, but my great grandmother ended up in the Schutthof concentration camps. My great grandfather on my mother's and father's side died fighting the war. We still don't know if it was the Russians or the Nazis, but obviously the Nazis provoked that situation in Poland. So yeah, I mean, I had a lot of family members pass away from a lot of crazy stuff throughout Polish history. But I don't want to be using that as a way to just say I'm offended because obviously these are insane comments, but I don't want to use my family's history to add to the insanity of today.
I want to.
I just want to make this point, though, because when I saw that clip, I saw it on YouTube, and then a recommended video was Norm Macdonald talking about Adolf Hitler, joking about it, and, he said it first, the more you look into Adolf Hitler, the less I seem to like him. And, I just can't imagine that, like, Kanye did some research. Oh, you know what? Oh, actually, he designed the Porsche. He's good. He made an engine. He made some, scientists do this. So what
he said he invented the microphone.
Yeah,
That's not true.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's very.
I think he said he invented the mic.
It's never a good look to idolize or say anything positive about Adolf Hitler. It's so obvious. I don't know why he's doing that. It's not just shocking. I think he's seriously confused or under some sort of
hold on.
hypnosis.
I wanted to address, you said insane, and this is a point I was making earlier. I think he's extremely wrong. Hitler didn't invent the microphone. Maybe there's maybe he's expressing whatever idea he's trying to express incorrectly.
I think he said he invented the microphone that I use, and he was, like Serge pointed out, is a piece of technology in the microphone that lets you hear vibration close to the throat, so tank commanders could use them.
Well, it's like the tank mics in World War II were like on the throat, and that's something they did invent. It's not. I don't know what he's saying. That's the only thing I could think of watching. I was like, maybe is that what he's talking about? But yeah, I don't.
So I just want to say there's a difference between being crazy, because everyone's saying he's having a psychotic break. And I'm like, okay, first of all, he does that thing. He pulls out a net and a Yoo-hoo bottle. And he's like, net and Yoo-hoo or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's going like, we're going to come take your kids. And I'm like, that's performative. Like, if I saw someone doing a weird show on the street, I wouldn't say they're crazy. I'd be like a performer is doing a performance. If he believes things that are just, grossly incorrect, or he's expressing them incorrectly, or he's praising people that are very bad, that, to me, is not a sign of mental illness. It's a sign of a person who is wrong about a thing.
Right.
And
but
many times,
mentally crazy.
But I just want to make one point here, because many times he was also just going to Nick and didn't have the answers, and you could see he was kind of filling in a lot of blanks here. But he wasn't even, he was talking about Planned Parenthood, and he's trying to equate different things to different scenarios. But if he really would have understood the situation, he would have understood that Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, was a big American eugenicist that inspired the Nazis, that inspired Hitler with his larger final solution, eugenics, depopulation control agenda that he implemented. So if he's really against all that stuff, he would have obviously seen the parallels here. So I don't know. Some people are saying he's just trying to be controversial. Some people are saying he's crazy. Some people are saying he's just filled with hate. Whatever it is, everyone's talking about it.
I just want to point out.
And who knows if it's a good thing or
I know
bad
exactly why. Because there's a very few people there's documentaries that say that there's some evil cabal that is ruining the world, and that Hitler was supposedly stomping that out, and that's why in his head he thinks that was a good thing.
Yeah, but when you look at,
that's what he thinks is happening,
and that's what some people think out there, and I want to break that down.
That's incorrect. I should say that's 100% incorrect. That's what he thinks.
Yeah, but then it was Prescott Bush, the Rockefellers,
my God! It's not one group of people.
A lot of our bigger industries, especially in the United States, that was financing Germany. And there's also the Soros thing, the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, Operation Paperclip. There's a lot of things that intertwine here that show us that obviously there's something bigger here historically. But he's not bringing that up. He's bringing up a lot of things to try to provoke people, to try to get some kind of emotion out of people, to try to get people angry, to try to get them stirred up here. What's the reason? What do you guys think?
Alex Jones said, "I know you're trying to be shocking." He says, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
He. I don't know, man.
What's the reason? Why is he doing it? Because obviously he's spurring everyone.
Why is Kanye doing that?
Yeah. Why do you think?
It's personal. I mean, something happened to him, by losing his bank account, and I don't know if that he was on the edge, because when you get you're trying to say it's not mental illness, Tim, but you can get like in these hyper focused rabbit holes. Because I don't know. What do you guys think he drinks? Is he on drugs? And I'm not saying I have no idea, and I know. I'm pretty sure Nick or I don't know if they use drugs, but I'm pretty sure they don't.
He said on the show that at some point he found himself drinking and having orgies, and then he realized he shouldn't be drinking because the king shouldn't drink or something like that. And so then he stopped.
So he doesn't drink.
When he tweeted, he said when he tweeted the DEFCON thing, he was drinking and he was drunk.
Oh, he was drunk.
And then he said, because the Bible says you can drink, but the Bible says the king shouldn't drink. And then I realized I shouldn't.
Well, his mental health is never going to get back together.
So you think it's mental health, or do you think he's trying to spread hate, or do you think he's legitimate crazy? Or what's the solution? Because it seems like you're saying crazy.
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, they say that why do these school shooters happen? Everybody's like, oh, it's on the FBI's radar, this and that. You can get radicalized by the stuff you see in your search engine and your algorithm, by the stuff that you repeatedly watch and the stuff that gets recommended.
But you don't see this stuff, what Ye is saying on the
every
internet.
photo I see of him, he's on his phone.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy that's addicted to my phone because I do stuff on my phone. I add a little clip sometimes and I have to film stuff. I'm always on my phone. And so I know what it's like to live in there. So I'm sure he's always in a rabbit hole. He's always on a plane. He's like, what? Oh my gosh. Blah, blah, blah.
When he was here, we were talking to him. He was on his phone the whole time.
It's insane.
And we were having conversations, and he just kept.
This is a black. Talking. This, guys. This is a black mirror. When you look at this phone, guys, look at this. This is an evil device. This is what basically the transhumanist agenda. It
has an apple on the back of it. That's half eaten for a reason.
Not to eat it. I know it's anecdotal to say that, because it's also anecdotal to say there's fluoride in the water, but yet you use ice at every restaurant. Yada yada yada. It's just still though this, guys, and I'm addicted to it. So I am the biggest hypocrite. It's terrible for your brain, your body, your soul.
You're pointing out the symbolism of an apple, like the Garden of Eden, and the apple that was eaten is bitten, and then
I get the vibe that Kanye was just totally mentally broken. Maybe not totally, but mentally broken when they took his bank account down. Like you realize, even if I have 500 million tomorrow, they can snap a finger and it goes to zero, or something.
He's got
like
money.
That. He's still got money.
He's got hundreds of millions, he said.
I think that was like a black pill. And now he's thrashing around trying to figure out what to do. And he's gone full Christ consciousness. He's like, I'm going to be in full forgiveness of every demon that's ever lived. And that's the Christ.
But he's
not going after every demon. He's going after one specific cultural reference, which he knows pisses a lot of people off.
Yeah, the main one.
Well, because he's doing the old talk about what you can't say. But
he's not saying Genghis Khan. He's not saying Stalin. He's not saying Mao Zedong.
But
if he was, but this is what some people are trying to excuse this behavior as. Oh, he's trying to piss everyone off just to be more Christ-like.
No way,
and there's no way he's doing that, because if he did, he would have done it from a different way. He would have done it from a way of compassion rather than trying to stir up a beehive.
Yeah. I don't know. You're not always, when you're in a manic state, you don't always go for compassion.
If I was his manager, if I was Milo, I would say, listen, you're not going to be able to go on the campaign trail and actually articulate these very nuanced subjects that are very, very hard, because they're not black and white. They're very gray. And he's not going to be able to articulate that, but his best best weapon, and he even said that he thinks in music, he thinks in harmonies, melodies. So he should, if he really like wants to expose a New World Order, he should have an anti-New World Order album, make that go number one.
But that's not what he wants. He wants a UBI. He wants sustainable government housing for everyone.
But
He's
let
calling
me
for a lot of communist traits.
Let me get my tinfoil hat, because this is what the Tavistock Institute, basically they do a lot of the mind control, a lot of the MK Ultra experimenting, and they have music that they use as propaganda because they've actually done testing that they know what harmonies and melodies are actually pleasurable for our ears. So it's like these places can actually create music that is like addicting for us. Like that's why these same artists are able to recreate, pop hits, because a lot of them are using these same melody patterns. Like you can actually look into it. Tavistock, like they've actually had soldiers, they put them on drugs, they put them sober, they had them listen to the music, they tested their heart rate, they tested how they feel, if they want to dance, if not. So they basically can have a cheat code. And I'm saying Kanye West, I know you want to talk real quick, could hack into that. That's the only thing he can hack into. Him saying the nuance of the mom, but he can't, speak for himself to save his life. But a song, that's the only way I think he would be effective in getting his message across. There's that viral video where this producer is like, here's how you make a pop song, and they take like a young model, they auto-tune her voice, then he like breaks down the structure of what pop music is. They even have AIs that can auto-generate melodies and beats, and then they craft it into the perfect pop song, and that's how it goes.
I think what Kanye is doing culturally is he's speaking the harmony, but there is no melody, and people they don't know what the melody is, so it sounds confusing, like what he's saying about, yes, there is goodness in people that we think are evil. That is like a harmonic to, well, let's start with what we know, which is that Hitler was addicted to amphetamines and led a genocide against the culture.
Let me give a shout out to Ian. Yin Yang, you've seen it, right? It's the the white and the black. Yes. There's a dot in each of them of the opposing color, symbolizing that within light there is dark, within dark there is light.
And the sun and moon.
Right. It's the duality of life, but it's all. But the point I'm trying to make is that people often don't realize it doesn't just mean one against the other. It also means within the dark there is light, within light there is dark. That being said, I can respect that point. I think we all understand the nuance because the conversation's been had about, even Hitler liked dogs. Mussolini made the trains run on time. But there's a reason why we specifically highlight the really evil things that came about from what they've done, because that is the bulk of their character. Yes, we get it. Humans share certain traits that we like, but we're talking about the specific unique components of a particular individual and the bad things they've done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's weird that he's like attributing things like the microphone, which Neumann made in 1928 in Germany, 1930. I don't know. Someone can tell me in the chat, but Neumann made the microphone. Why is he attributing that and Hugo Boss and Volkswagen to Adolf Hitler? Architecture, did he say? Why is that happening?
I don't know, but if he rapped it, nobody would care. But because he's trying to say it, then you have to be like, what?
Hey, look, shout out to Public Enemy, because when I was a little kid, they had that song in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Bring the Noise, where they did a team up with Anthrax. And one of the verses in that song, because I used to know all the words, is Farrakhan's a prophet that I think you ought to listen to, what he can say to you. And I didn't know what that meant when I was a little kid. And that's in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest games of all time.
And then in part 2. And then I grow up and I'm like, I wonder what that means. And I look into it and I go, holy, what was in this game?
Wow, dude.
And you loved it.
It was a song. It was like, turn it up, bring the noise. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I had no idea what it meant.
I think one of the problems that Kanye has been having is a similar problem to what Hitler was having, which is that some people were screwing with him and they were Jewish. So he blamed the entire Jewish religion, or is it the race?
I have to say this, and I hope this doesn't get me in trouble though, but it does prove Kanye a little right as soon as they take away his bank account. I mean, But
this is the problem I have with this, is the word they, because what's happening is like you had 30 dogs and 29 of them were brown. It doesn't mean that most dogs are brown.
No, what Kanye is saying is abhorrent and disgusting, but it's just, him getting shut down. Now it's like, I think he's doubling down the Trump, where now he can't go back and be like, oh, I didn't mean this. I meant, there's just these few guys. That's what I think it's the slope. He's just gone too far.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.